Welcome to everyone. By the way, I think for the microblast, we need to put in that TNT, the AC/DC song. That's right. That should be the beginning of it. Yeah. You're gonna kick that Eminem back on? Is that what we're doing?
Well, no. We may not have anything because Jimmy might need a new computer. Because I'm pushing. See?
Your echo.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
And I'm echoing. Let's just try it. What the heck? Oh! We gotta start.
Oh no! Hi everybody.
Hi everyone.
Sale.
Sale.
This is bringing back the old days, brother.
Original.
Yeah.
This is when I used to watch this show.
This is old school tonight. This is back when I was.
If it doesn't
back
work.
when I used to watch you guys.
Okay, so we're starting the show.
Where's our intro?
We're not going to have one tonight because
you suck.
No,
In
because
5, 4, 3.
Let's be honest here.
Let's be honest. Not let's be honest. Let's be honest.
All right, so I'm hitting. I pulled an Amy. I downloaded. Let's do this. I downloaded Windows 10.
Oh no.
And that was the effects right there of Windows 10.
I told you.
Hey, listen, I'm kind of like it. Hey, Bill Gates, by the way, I kind of like Windows 10. I don't care what these guys say.
Endorsement.
Windows 10, I don't know. My kids are using it.
Yeah, so there goes Windows 10. Goodbye. Amy, are you using your Mac now, or are you using the Windows thing?
The Mac.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Well, Mac's done it right since day one, so let's just give him due credit. But
yeah, I mean, we could all sing an intro.
Put that Eminem back on. That was kicking the mood in. That was.
Well, if somebody could go. And then start rapping.
I like a lot of Eminem songs, but that wasn't one of them.
All right then.
Hey, that move. Oh, you mean what I just did, or the Eminem song?
The Eminem song.
The one you just did.
Yeah.
Jim and M.
Both.
Jim and M.
Now we're.
Right. We might hear music here in a second because I am reloading that, but I'm not going to play the music if I can help it. I would just like to be able to use XSplit for.
Are you gonna be playing Frozen on your screen behind you? What is that? Do you want to know this?
Oh, that's funny. I love it. Now, if you look at my screen back behind me, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but
can't see
there it is. It's a little blurry.
A little.
The blast.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah.
Damn! Look at that. See, once I take the focus off me, everything's better.
Wait, Brett, what have you got going on there?
Well, look at that. I don't know if you can see that in the background there, though, but...
How did you... Tell us how you did that.
I'm not going to tell you how. We'll tell... It's the magic of the production. I'll tell you guys off air. We can't let the fans know.
Brett, the only thing I can see on you, Brett, is your eyes. You need to come down. You need to lower your...
Oh, I'm looking at my...
Right,
you need
to move that way about 1 to 2 feet.
Amy, I think we know. I think we know the best.
Like, keep going.
Right, Amy. We know the best thing is for the people to see less of me. I think we all agreed on that, didn't we, in the meeting?
No, you agreed on it. We didn't.
Maybe like 2 feet to the left.
Well, I would second the motion. I mean, if he wants to put it out there.
So here we go. So here's my new camera angle for Amy's sake. There it is. Now everything's good. Let's get going, folks.
Okay, now we're ready.
Loser.
Now we're ready.
Your eyes are really black now. Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, here, let me see. I'll tell you what. I have the magic of control, and I am going to take control. Now watch this. Would you like to see more of me?
No.
No. Well, Amy would. But...
Yeah, we just need to lower. You need to lower the camera so you can actually see most of your face. Right now, your face is.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there you go.
There
you go.
Well, and you know what
now
I'm
there's
doing
two
with
chins instead of one.
exactly. You know what I'm doing with the little display on my my tag on the bottom. Well, that's just to hide this. I go, you don't see any.
Loser.
Hey, what's up, guys? So when I'm on screen, I'm gonna be doing this now. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Why don't you just use some like clear duct tape or something to pull it back?
I'll be right back.
Pin it back.
All right.
Pin it back.
So tonight we're introducing what the new shorter, more user friendly, or is it viewer friendly version of the Blast, right?
Yeah, kinda. I mean,
do we want to tell people about the new direction a little bit? No. No. Oh, I wouldn't even think about it. I don't know why you brought it up, Jim. You're a dick.
All right. No, go ahead. Whatever.
No, I just be watching for the new shorter microblasts coming up. Is that what we're going to call them, the microblast?
Well, actually, what the plan is like during the week, whenever the spirit moves you, you called. I gotta have a new name. I hate
Jimbo
my name.
Slice? Jimbo?
What?
Jimbo Slice?
Jimbo Slice. Well, I dig it when Amy called.
How come you're echoing, sir?
I don't know.
Yeah, you got your.
You sound. I'll tell you what. He sounds good to me. He sounds He actually sounds better than normal.
In concert.
Yeah.
He's in concert.
I'm in concert.
Ladies and gentlemen, now taking the stage, Jim Coffer.
Amy calls me James whenever she's jovially irritated at me.
I like how you interjected the word vile into that, because that's probably a fairly accurate.
Which is endearing. It's good.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Hey, listen, in this type of format, the more that you're hated, the more people are watching, and that right there. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I don't really. Okay, I do not. I told my mom the other day we went up to Seattle to visit, and I said I absolutely hate my name. No, Jimmy's fine. Jimmy's fine. James is fine.
You know what, Dad? I honestly, every time I meet a Jim, do you know what I say to them?
That is okay.
Do you know what I say to them anytime I meet a Jim in my life?
What?
That's my favorite name.
Oh, we had a moment here.
Like, that's my favorite name. Your name's Jim? That's my favorite name. I, promise.
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
Why?
That's my dad's name, and he knows everything.
Oh, wow, look at that. All right, and by the way, that concludes the nepotism portion of the show for the evening.
Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. I got a phone call from Crystal once at about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
She was down in Los Angeles, and she was drinking.
No.
They were at a bar.
No.
Her and a bunch of friends, and
right.
she calls me and asks me a trivia question. And I
remember this.
2 o'clock in the morning or something.
We talked about this on the show.
And she turns around and goes, "See," I hear her say, "See, everybody, I told you my dad knows everything."
So now I do that. I have the answer for everything too.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
It's in the genes.
It's amazing. Yeah, we're really
it just comes with
amazing how that happens, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, so what?
Let's
talk about some current events. I want to talk about. I'm going to just pull this up real quick because I saw this come across Amy's page.
Yep, me too. That's cool.
Congress introduces legislation to reinstate the Green Beret who stopped child rape in Iraq. First of all, should have never even been a question about this guy being in trouble. Mm-hmm. Much less.
By the way,
Jim, reinstated.
Jim, have you met our president?
No, fortunately.
Okay. Right. Are you aware of him? Because obviously, anyway, move on. Sorry.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's just yeah. Anybody on this one?
It's absolutely. He walks in and the guy's sodomizing a little boy and he beats the piss out of him, and he rightfully so should have. And
do you know more than we do?
No.
Based on your contacts.
No.
Nope, not on this one. Just that.
Okay.
They agree that he should never have been in trouble.
Right.
Right.
Hey, you should have been.
Well, no, Crystal, because she actually knows somebody who's over there right now.
Oh
I'm
wait,
aware of that. Thank you.
aren't we supposed to respect the religion of peace in other cultures? Oh, that's right.
What if the guy had walked in and he was doing that to a goat? Would he have had the same reaction?
I was just thinking the same thing.
American men probably would.
He would have turned around and been like, "Yuck! Oh my God!" You know. Weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
You know, you might if you walk in and see the guy doing the goat, you might just kind of go, "Really?" and then turn around and leave.
You might go, bah.
Bad.
If you're a animal lover, you might smack the piss out of him and.
That, or maybe you stay and watch for a minute, just because it's that weird. I don't know.
Only you would
I
do
don't
that,
know.
Nobody
I
would.
know. I'm just saying.
Hey, Brett, have you ever been to Tijuana?
I have not been to Tijuana. No, I have not.
Never mind. I was just wondering if you'd
Those
seen like
are donkeys.
a donkey show.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask.
Listen. Donkeys are not people. Goats are. So I mean, I draw my lines, man. I draw my lines.
Goats, young ones are kids.
Right.
Bada bing.
Is that the analogy?
Bada bing.
Ba-doom. Thanks, folks. We'll be here all week.
How about
that's
this
fantastic.
one? They moved this in the middle of the night. The Ten Commandments.
How cheesy was that?
Right?
This is in Oklahoma. Follow the story.
They said it was about public safety.
Right.
Really?
Because it might have taught somebody a lesson, and we can't have that right now.
While in Detroit yesterday, they dedicated a devil worshipping thing. You guys read about that?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
Talk about it, Brett, because you're acting like you actually know.
No, I don't know jack squat about it. Just read a couple. No, hold on.
Said that.
No. I followed in relation to the story you're showing here. They had made the correlation to the fact that in Chicago, or they were
Detroit.
Detroit. They were approving some sort of idolic, statue of some sort of the devil.
Satanic worshippers were.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Brett, do us a favor when we move into something else here. Pull that story up, get a picture of it, and then put it on your little.
There
so
you
you
go.
can share it.
We can do that. We can find a story about that.
Oh, look at.
Oh, she's an angel.
That's
Thanks for
funny.
bringing that up, Brett.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Why is this so hilarious?
I don't know.
It seems fitting to me. I don't know what's so funny
that's
about that.
whatever. Speaking of that, can any of you guys figure this one out? Supposedly,
Read it.
right there. No, nobody can read it. That's the point. It's a frickin'. They're saying that it's this now proves that the Old Testament is right. Now, I believe in the Bible and the Old Testament and all that, but it says here, for many years, the critics of the Old Testament continued to argue that Moses invented the stories found in Genesis. The critics said it didn't happen. The discovery of the Ebla archive in northern Syria in the 1970s confirmed that the biblical records. How do you read that and say, no, that is the Ten Commandments?
Pictures or what? Like.
It looks like, I don't know if I can get this any bigger.
Well, I'll tell you.
Hydroglyph.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Okay.
I have an old man who's going to pee on my rug if I don't go right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pee on my rug too.
I mean, really, they're like etchings and stuff. They're like lines and etches.
Hydroglyphs.
Okay. Yeah, hieroglyphics. So how in God's name do you tell us like a story out of that?
Well,
we don't, but somebody does.
Well, see, here's the interesting thing about when you look at something like that. The old Sumerian writings too are very similar to this, and some of the first tablets such as this. I mean, some bigger ones, but the story of Gilgamesh was etched much like this, and we're talking about some of the first writings ever. And if I'm understanding it correctly, there's a great documentary on Netflix about breaking the Mayan code, and it talks about all of their glyphs on all of their temples and statues. But basically what you do is you find out, you have to identify correlations and relationships in these symbols. And then eventually you kind of develop that, okay, this must mean this. And once you get one or two words, quote unquote, and it's not necessarily a word, it might be a symbol that represents a phrase. But once you identify a couple of things, you can start to expand on it. It works exponentially, so you can eventually
like a puzzle.
Right. It is. It's very much a puzzle, and I think people who are more learned than I am can work these things backwards and say, okay, we got to this point, and how did we decide that this says what it says? Now here's the interesting thing. The reality is a scientist, somebody who's got a PhD could look at me and go, no, Brett, we did some studies and we learned that these words are this and that and this means this. And I'd be like, okay, I believe you. Thumbs up.
Well, that's the thing, though. Carbon dating and all that crap, how do they actually really know? So they go, okay, so you look at the Grand Canyon and you see lines. You go, okay, well, that was 9 million years old because the line. I'm like, really? Nobody was around 9 million years ago to tell you that when one of these lines happened, it was 1 million years later.
Well, by the way, now striations.
They're guessing.
Well, hold on. Striations are a whole different thing. But we're actually talking about.
Why is it a whole different thing?
Because we're looking at simple physics in that case.
Simple physics. Somebody has lived more than 100 years, so they go
simple.
Go
1,000. I don't get it.
No, if you're asking me like a layer down at the bottom, like towards the river, towards the Colorado that runs through the Grand Canyon, if you get down to that bottom level, you can actually find elements that would suggest that layer is 110 million years old.
How?
Yeah.
Nobody has spent.
Okay,
so
what is it based off of?
Amy, we're saying. Like, okay, so like with this tablet, how do you look at gibberish and tell a story? And it's kind of like, how do people legitimately say, okay, I'm looking at the Grand Canyon. It looks like a whole bunch of lines down there, so it happened. This is like 10 million years worth. They're making it up.
Well, no, they're not.
Nobody has been around that long.
They're just like you. They know everything.
Well, now here's the
thing. Nobody can prove that one line equals 1,000 years, another line equals 10,000 years, another layers and layers upon, and then carbon dating. What the hell is that?
By the way,
it's all made up.
Do you know where they developed this? The striations, in other words, the layers that they see, especially. Do you know where they developed it?
Hey, look at that! We got a. That's where they developed it. Right up there.
You can travel. You can in these great United States. You could get in a car and travel to the Rockies, and you can actually travel up quite a few thousand feet up into the Rockies, and you can there find fossils of sea creatures. In other words, there are parts of the top of the Rockies that have been pushed up that used to be ocean floor. So imagine how many.
I believe in the flood.
The Great Flood.
The Great Flood.
No, but what he's saying, Brett, is how like who started that? Like who based that off of? Yeah, you can find fossils, but how can you say this
who
was
decided?
Definitely, at this time? Like how can you definitely say where did this start? Like where did they start with a time? Like this is 100 million years ago. Like how did that?
Yeah, Amy, did you go to college?
Mm-hmm.
What did you study?
Art and history.
So in history, it's not archaeology, but history is historical facts. If you go back,
archaeology and history are one and the same. They're one and the same.
Technically. So how does somebody come up with the theory of how something is old?
You're asking me? I have no idea.
We don't know.
I was gonna say, why don't you contact a geologist and find out how they?
There we go. We should have a geologist.
Let's just Google it.
Oh yeah, because that's all the answer right there. That's all we need.
Let's just Google this already.
Right.
All right. So we're just gonna go ahead.
Earth is
Earth is only 2,000 years old. Let's move on.
Okay, yeah. Right. Anyway, boring.
I entitled this picture "Ass Wipes," and I'm sorry, but I am going to do a story on this. Finally, I finally am.
Yeah,
I keep threatening to do it.
This makes me sick.
Now.
Sick.
Okay, Crystal, you go first. Why? Why does it make? What makes you sick about it?
I mean, I can't
it's off
even
the
know
page.
where
I can't see
start.
it.
I'm so pissed off.
What is it?
Okay.
It's off the page. I can only see half of it.
There you
go. There you go.
So,
okay.
Say hello to my friend Nicole, who just walked in.
Hey, Nicole. Hold on.
Welcome to live television across the United States.
She's one of our viewers today.
Hi, Nicole.
Anyway, I want to talk about this, though, because I'm like, this really pisses me off big time.
What does? Go ahead.
Okay, so what happened to the, you get to refuse service to whoever you want. I mean, what happened to that? I don't get it. So you can refuse service to somebody that's not wearing a shirt or shoes that comes in your restaurant, but you can't tell somebody, I'm sorry, but we don't believe in same-sex marriage, so we're not going to bake your cake, and then they can turn around and sue you. You can't even run your own business.
Well, by the way, they weren't sued by the couple that they refused to serve. They were sued by the state of Oregon.
The couple is gladly collecting this money because they had damages of hurt feelings and whatever.
Right, I know.
Find a different bakery.
They're lesbian.
This is the problem with allowing any type of thought control and mind control and all this kind of crap where they you can't say those certain words, you can't do certain things. It's discrimination. If you don't like someone, if you think that you don't like someone, then you're discriminatory. I mean, it's a load of crap. You can't regulate all this stuff.
If I walked into a bakery and they were like, you know what, we're not going to bake you. We don't like
Hawaiian blondes. Yeah.
You're marrying a Hawaiian, and we don't like it. So we're not going to bake your cake. Guess what? I don't want to give you my business. Bye. I'm not going to turn around and sue them.
The best analogy for this is really, I mean, it would be kind of like charging a Tom Brady fan money because they don't think he cheated, and it's just, I mean, you have your.
What? No, it wouldn't be like that.
I'm kidding. That was for Amy. That was
trying to bust my.
Where are you, Brett? Do you even know?
That was
giving Amy a hard time.
I was giving Amy a hard time.
Bastin.
Right.
Bastin.
You think Tom Brady's innocent, so you're going to get charged some money.
He's innocently.
All right. So, well, no. So what's going on? What's going on?
Crystal's right. You should be able to run your business any way you choose, discriminate or not. You should be allowed to discriminate. Okay. However, these people did not discriminate.
Nope.
Exactly. Even worse.
No. They are setting up a scam. They're setting up a scam. They got sued for discrimination, which they didn't do. They never said, we're not going to bake you a cake because you're gay. They've never asked anybody, are you gay? They said, we don't want to participate in the wedding, so we're not going to bake a cake for the gay wedding. They'll still sell them a cake, no problem.
Right, correct.
Bake them a cake too, just not a wedding cake and participate in it. So
that's not the way I understood the story.
No, show up and set it up as part of the deal. They're not going to bake the cake
no matter what.
No,
that didn't happen.
So the words in the newspaper from the Oregon commissioner said, it is not about a cake. It is about you discriminating against these people and refusing to sell to them. It would have been so simple for them to win this case had they said, we didn't discriminate. We'll bake them a cake, just not their wedding cake because we don't want to be in their wedding.
Right.
And we've sold to them before, and we've never asked anybody to fill out a card to say what sex you are, what discrimination, anything, right? Okay, yeah. So get to this point. She does this. And I was already in that business. I tried to sell them food. They were not busy enough to buy food from me. They were so slow that they had to go down to cash and carry and pick things up. Okay? They couldn't even afford their rent. When this hit the papers, They had a line around the block. They were so damn busy. But they knew that's temporary. Next month, they're not going to be that busy. They're going to go right back to where they were before. So what they did was their friends opened up a GoFundMe type account.
GoFundMe, yep.
It's still open. They've made $450,000 right now. $450,000, and it's still open. $135,000 fine that other people gave them the money to pay. What the hell are they keep? Okay, but
why
still.
Should they have to give them my thing is they should not have to give these people that money.
That
is bullshit.
Right, but everybody.
Why should these people get $135,000?
But everybody
Why should they get it?
Everybody handed this family. Everybody handed this family the money. 3 times, 4 times more the money, and said, "Here, go ahead and pay the fine." Didn't come out of their pocket, and they would still keep $300,000 in their pocket.
It's the principle. These people should not get that money.
These people you're looking at shouldn't get that much money either.
Well, I mean, it's who's to say that? I mean, people donated to them, so if they want to donate to keep them in business and to you know, they have like 5 kids or something, don't they? 5 or 6
kids. Yeah, their kids have to go to school and deal with all this stuff. Their parents hate
so do I.
People.
They reopened that business in their home, which was their plan all along. They're open right now. They sell online.
Yeah, but Jim, if you look at a GoFundMe account and it's 300% of what they were asking for or looking for, and you still give to it, that's not their fault.
Yep.
No, but this is what she's doing. Look at the tears. She's a con artist. She's playing people.
Dad, it takes one to know one, bro.
I think it's bigger than that. I mean, you're talking about someone's integrity, their reputation. I mean, you're talking about destroying people's lives because of a big fat lie.
Then they told the lie. These people told the lie. They were sued for discrimination, and they refused to defend themselves against the charge.
Can I ask?
I think that's their legal advice. Yeah. They had legal advice. Maybe you should have been their attorney.
Let me ask
I emailed them and I told them, and I said, your guy's attorney doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She's not defending you against it. And they didn't answer me.
So you're just pissed off because they didn't answer you because you think you're...
Partially, yeah.
On point,
that's what it is.
Partially.
That's my dad for you.
So let me ask you...
Okay, now we come to the crux of the matter, yeah.
The people...
I wanted to help you, but you didn't take my advice, so fuck you. I hope you die. Right? That's what you're saying, right, James?
Pretty much.
So I want to ask this question.
Got your ticket, buddy.
Let's ask this question. The wonderful couple. Wow, I can't really...
What is that?
Somebody's listening to something. Crystal.
My bad. It was my favorite.
Okay, so the couple that is supposedly the victim in this case, this wonderful lesbian couple, I haven't heard much from them about how they're terrorized, and they've been victimized, and they've been and thank God the state did the right thing to protect us. It's almost like, and to Jim's defense, it's almost like they're too quiet. If this was something that they were jumping on, and by the way, the more, and I'll give them some respect if they're not jumping on it, because I mean they might be the type of people that are like, listen, we don't really want the money either.
They said that the other day. No. They said we don't want the money.
No way. I saw a story. I saw a thing about them saying, oh my gosh, the one was strong and the other one was weak, and she had to take care of her and she missed work because of it, and like all these emotional damages. No, they did talk.
That's some right-wing blog.
Good. That's the only blog I would read.
I'm just saying that these people refused to defend themselves against the charge they were accused of. No, they allowed that fine to happen. And now they're appealing it. They got the money.
Jim, I think it wouldn't have mattered how they defended themselves. It's a gay mafia agenda, and they're gonna go forge forward and make them. Doesn't matter. You can say give them proof positive in stone, and they're gonna say nope. you're discriminated. You just hate gays. That's all. That's all they're gonna keep repeating, because that's what they need people to think.
I would have
and I have
liked.
a question. I have a question for you, Jimbo
Yes.
Slice. Are you going to? What's your take on the upcoming? Because there's going to be stuff like this coming up with like Christian pastors and stuff that are
No,
going
it's
to be
not.
denying.
No, don't go there. Don't believe that. Don't believe
that. When it does, what are you gonna? Are you gonna defend? What are you gonna take? What stance are you gonna take?
First of all, a Jimbo Slice is pretty good actually, but I was thinking more along the lines of Kid K.
Wow.
Ew,
we're not going there. We're not going there. No. I'm not going to call you that.
Your daughter is going to throat punch you next time she meets you.
I'm going to throat punch him, Amy.
The only reason I like Jimbo Slice.
I'm going to punch him in the turkey.
The only reason I like Jimbo Slice is because it's JS, which is very close to BS, which I could buy.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that.
All right. I was thinking Kid K the other day.
Kid K. All right. Get it up there on your splash, brother.
So you guys are basically saying that if I make a video about this, I open myself up to looking like a real asshole, dickhead, retard.
No, because I agree.
You're going to fit right in with everybody else in Portland.
No.
And our 3 Portland viewers just clicked off. Thank you.
Yeah. No, they're going to love it. They're going to ask him to join Portlandia or whatever.
You know what I saw? They came out with this new sun protection from people in Hawaii, and it's new SPS.
SPF?
SPF 400.
Ew.
Ow!
SPS 400 sunblock.
That's a new sunscreen for people in Hawaii.
By the way,
sunblock.
We know her. That's Auntie Maya.
Yeah.
By the way,
sunblock.
By the way, I'm going to tell you something right now. Even if that guy was a willing participant, she should be arrested for assault.
Yeah. She ain't getting no sunburn.
She should be arrested for assault, and I think that
she should.
That's absolutely.
We'll move on to a serious one, but I saw this the other day. I'm going to show this to some of my friends at the restaurant.
Put it down a little bit.
Where? Down?
There you go.
Yeah,
that's good.
Right there. Mexican words of the day: Texas and horizon. I told my girl texting and driving is very dangerous. She needs to put her phone down and keep horizon the damn road. Keep her eyes on the damn road. Yeah, right. Maybe not.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, exactly.
James Woods. James Woods always gets it right.
Oh, he does too.
I'm going to try to get him on the show.
We should. James Woods would be a great guest.
I
love James.
Jump all over this production.
Of course he would. Why wouldn't he?
And then when he doesn't reply to his email, he's gonna be like, "Fuck him! I don't like him anymore. He doesn't."
By the way, I will get him on. I will get him on the show right now. I will get him on the show, and you just have to come back and take this clip of me saying this. Mr. James Woods, I loved Videodrome. It's still one of my favorite movies ever. Please come on the show.
He doesn't even remember making that movie.
I love that movie. When Deborah Harry climbs out of that screen, beautiful.
Have you seen James Woods' girlfriend?
I have not.
Not even gonna lie, she's 20 years old.
Wow, and why wouldn't she be? And why wouldn't she? By the way, you know what? She doesn't love him for anything that he has. She loves him for him. And don't forget that. Don't forget that.
Of course she does. Of course she does.
Yeah.
Right.
They used to have one of those boyfriends.
He could give it all away, and she'd still be right there by his side. No problem.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Never mind. I was going to say, Crystal's been to Belize and all over from having a douchey boyfriend.
All right.
No comment. Smart.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
How about this? How about this one?
Bring it down
John
a little
McCain.
bit.
Where? Bring it down?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay.
John McCain comes out and says, that the GOP is going to pay a price for personal attacks. This is the guy who called the Donald Trump supporters crazy, and McCain and Senator Cruz, all these guys, wacko birds, right?
Yep.
How about that?
Oh, John McCain is a special kind of stupid. He's in the same box that Obama's in. Although he's not Muslim, they still get along very well, except for Muslim holidays. So, I mean, other than that, they have a lot in common. And what they have in common is they don't actually think; they just start to speak. Like, let's say there was a school shooting, hypothetically, and I were to come out like 20 minutes later and start talking about how we need to, have gun control and it's the people's fault. I mean, God forbid anybody would do something that's stupid. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, Obama did that, and
right there.
Right. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Do you know that according to Matt Drudge, in that 12-minute speech, this doesn't surprise us.
28 times.
Can you imagine?
Read it. In other words, he made it about him. The narcissism that this guy presents and his unwillingness to actually, I'll go across party lines. I will walk across there and shake hands with the Republicans when they do the right thing. I want transparency. I want openness. I want to make this thing work. No, you don't. You want to talk about yourself. You want to talk about your agenda. Yet again, dead people laying on the ground, bleeding out.
He's the president that wants to be a celebrity. That's what he is.
Do I dare tell Brett that I came across a video that was talking about this was all a Jade Helm exercise?
Oh, don't tell me about that video. Do not tell me about that video. Now, does anybody else find it kind of interesting that the one sheriff that came out and said that he thought Sandy Hook might be a little fishy? Oh, it happens to happen in his town? Gee, what a coincidence.
Like paybacks are a bitch?
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. And by the way, I'm not discounting. I mean, I don't think in every one of these incidents we've seen that people have actually died. I do not think that there was a bunch of children killed at Sandy Hook. I don't believe it. They didn't have an evacuation that was on film. There's a lot of reasons why I don't buy it. And that sheriff was actually fairly well versed in his response to it. He thought there was something fishy about it, like a lot of us do. And these things are happening at a click, and they're happening in a certain timeline, and it's almost by pattern. And if you understand anything about numbers and patterns, the number 3, the number 7, all of the numerology that's involved in this, which the occult is heavily involved in. If you're following the numerology involved in this, these things are happening at a certain click, and now they're happening quicker because they're speeding up the agenda, and it's all very mathematical and it's all very well intended. And I mean, it's not a well-intended act, but I mean, it's a well-intended progression. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for you to tell me, Amy, hypothetically, that this was all part of Jade Helm, by the way, I think you remember I was talking about the fact that when I was listening to the live report on the radio, there was the reporter that was talking about the fact that the ATF was coming out of Portland and they were on their way there. And then not more than 2 minutes later, I heard there was a guy in the background saying, no, the ATF is already on scene. And the reporter said, so I guess apparently the ATF is already there, and there's a bigger contingency on their way down from Portland. So they must have been in the area doing something else because there's no office near there.
That's why I said, should I even mention that someone said it was a Jade Helm exercise?
Well, I'll tell you this. Why would the ATF be there and not the FBI?
Well, they showed up.
Well, right, eventually. But, I mean, the ATF was involved in this aspect. I mean, hypothetically speaking, if there's any truth to it, who knows? I mean,
well, to Amy's point about her belief that it's a Jade Helm thing, I
didn't say it was my belief.
Just kidding.
Putting words in my mouth.
Hey.
No.
Hey, that's what everybody's doing to Ben Carson, putting words into his mouth.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys do know that it was announced back before the Jade Helm started. And by the way, I don't think it's over yet. I really don't. I think it's an infiltration of the United States by our armies because what's the Kumitatis? I can never remember the Kumitatis, or we cannot operate within our own borders.
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the Italian or the Greek or whatever it is, but I mean, it doesn't strike anybody as odd that the ATF was already on scene. It's
No,
just
that's weird. That's
and they announced it.
Couple that.
I heard it live.
I know you told us about that, but you're the only one who heard it.
Right. But
I hear lots of things.
They always talking in my head.
Why the voices right now are telling me that I'm right. So
couple that with Obama making the announcement that he did about the guns and everything, while the bodies were still laying there uncounted, they still didn't know how many, what, or when, and he was already going to TV.
Now, by the way, I know that
thing was too quick.
You guys know here. Let me throw a little more conspiracy into all this. And Amy, thank you for starting this.
Yeah, he's having a ball now.
I'm loving it now. But honestly, this has been actually
the Brecht show.
Just guys, log off. I'll be back in a little bit. But honestly, though, I mean, think about we're actually seeing something, a twist in this event that we haven't seen in the past ones. And we have a town right now that is saying we don't want Obama here, stay away. And we're seeing national coverage of that sentiment. Don't come here. We don't want this to be politicized. We don't want the blood of our dead to be used by you for your agenda. Listen.
Yep.
And we're not even saying we don't agree with gun control. I mean, they're not even saying that. We're just saying we despise you for making light of this, because that's what it is. It's making light of it. Now, here's the thing.
Using it for his plan.
Are we at a point now where we might have run into a situation where the narrative that was prepared for this event is being attacked by the people that were actually there? And maybe we're not getting the whole story quite yet. But let's just say that a lot of the people in this town are going like, that's not what happened. No, you guys are, wait, hold on. No, we knew this kid, or we knew that person, or this is not what the witness that I know said. It's a small-knit community. Sandy Hook was not a small area. That was what? I mean, that's in a very largely populated state. I mean, we're talking about an event in Roseburg that happened in a very, very low population area. So you have to think that the people in this area really actually do know each other. Close-knit community. Why would you say we don't want the president here to support us? Well, I mean, first and foremost, it's probably a conservative area. But secondly, what if there's some bullshit going on and they are saying, no, you can't come here and say that because we know it's not true.
And maybe we don't get all the news out of there. But if you couple this. Can you couple three things? No.
Yes.
No.
ATF.
Stop using that word anyway.
No. ATF already on the scene. Obama's shooting this thing right out there, like while the bodies are laying there.
Just like the Benghazi video.
And he's on his way to Roseburg, all in the same week.
And by the way,
he didn't go. He didn't go
when the reporter was shot
anywhere.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right.
Amy went somewhere.
Pissed. She's like, I'm out of here. Amy's
not
done.
Gonna listen to this. I hope she's coming.
Nope, I'm done. She's done.
But by the way, Jim, you start to line up coincidences like that, and let's just say that you trust me, and I did hear it live on. It was on the same station Lars Larson is on. Jim.
Believe you, Brett.
I know, and I'm not saying you don't. But what I'm saying is, I heard it. They said, the ATF is on the way. Nope, the ATF's already there.
Brett, I heard it too. I'm going to be honest with you. But all right, here's a little post that I made earlier today.
I love it.
Can you read that, Crystal?
Yep.
Isn't he kind of like doing what Westboro Baptist does?
Oh, it's the same sentiment. It is exactly the same sentiment. And that this is most likely why the people of the Roseburg community do not want him there. This is no different. This is a liberal, socialist, Muslim, right or left wing. God, I'm getting confused.
They could have filmed Deliverance in Roseburg.
They could have.
Not where liberals, communists should be hanging out.
Right.
Yeah. No, he should go help where there's he should go help the flooding victims or something.
Yeah.
Well, there's not enough Muslim population in the floods, and that was the problem. He would have been there day one, but
Right.
And so that wraps it up, and it was a great show. Thank you for.
Hi, Amy.
Lost my net.
I thought you were pissed. I was like, she's had enough of you, Brett. She's out. She's done.
Hey,
no,
you know
but
what?
Looking at the time, it is that time. But go ahead.
It is about that time. Now, by the way, in Amy's defense, I don't discount the fact that she could, listen to me ramble on about something like that. But in my defense, she did bring it up. She did bring it up.
Yeah. I did. That's why I said, do I dare tell Brett that I
thought about
video?
It before you said it. You knew.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you. Listen, whenever you have a false narrative of an event, and you can continue to feed that to the people through social media, through the government-controlled mainstream media, the propaganda. Once you start to see behind the curtain, as it were, which I love, the wizard behind the curtain. Once you start to
love
look,
those curtains.
Well, I do, and once you start to look for those, and you start to go, wait a minute, there's something funny about this. That doesn't work. I mean, again, with we can go back all the way to 9/11. We can bring up all these.
No. We don't need to bring up any of that.
So anyway, 9/11. Let me say that.
No, we're good there.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Hey, before we go, they are getting ready probably tomorrow to do the very first procedural vote, and then the big thing happens at the end of the month. There's two of the guys that are running, and can you guys see that right there? So I got thinking about this. McCarthy, who's Bonnier's guy, how in God's name do you get a 37% voting record as a conservative voting record, and then be considered for Speaker of the House to represent the party?
You can't.
37%.
No, you cannot. It's a travesty, is what that
is. And then 50. I mean, this guy is like less than half conservative to half conservative. And look where he started out. He started out with great principles when he showed up. 90, 95, 90. And then you could see where these guys start to get bought.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they start going down. All of them do. Look at Chaffetz. He started out 95, then 100, 95, 90. And all of a sudden he starts going down. Well, he's got an average score of 88.
Jim, look at it like this. In 2007, Kevin McCarthy was a freshman. He voted 90%. In 2008, he'd been talked to. He went up a little bit. He still had some ideals. He was going to fight the system, and he went up to 95. In 2009, he dropped back down to 90%. Look at when he's a senior in 2010. He's a senior. Look what happens to his voting rate in 2010.
They're like Bonnier and those guys are like, hey, Kev, would you like to be a part of our team?
Exactly.
All of a sudden, boom.
Then he graduates, and in 2011, it drops all the way to 74% from a high of 95. That's a big drop when it comes to a voting record. And then, holy cow, he was taking cash at 37%. Bet you he made the most money he's ever made in his entire life in 2012.
Yeah.
In 2013, he was very close to that 2012 number.
They should line up. They should line up these guys' tax records
by the
with
way,
their voting records.
Exactly. In 2014 and 2015, there were a couple of special interest groups that pissed him off, and he was like, "Screw you! I'm voting the other way." And guess what? He didn't get the money, and he voted the other way. And this is what we're seeing. That's a great example.
Look at Chaffetz there. Okay, every time John McCain and Lindsey Graham get up on stage, you'll always see Kelly Ayotte, that woman with the dark hair. Isn't she from your area, Amy?
New Hampshire, I believe.
Yeah. So up in that region.
Back in the woods.
That region.
Not that state of New England, Jim, but the region.
Not the state. Region. And you see Jason Chaffetz. They're always up there. So then, about 2 months ago, when Obama was trying to get the free trade thing, and Mark Meadows talked against it, this is the guy that stripped him of his chairmanship. And now he's saying, well, I rethought it and I learned a lesson. We don't have any good choices for people running.
No, it's true. And the GOP is a joke. The Republicans are even, the Democrats are even worse. I mean, listen, I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. Bernie Sanders, the fantasy world that he lives in, I love it. I love it. It's a great place. Oh my gosh. Weed for everyone, and nobody has anything except exactly what they're given from taking it from other people, and everybody's equal, and oh my word, let's go fishing tomorrow, everyone. Nobody has to have a job. It sounds like fun. It sounds like fun, Bernie.
What do you think, Amy?
It sounds like fun.
You know what I think?
Well, no, I know what you think about them, but about like this House vote and all that. You think it's just down the tubes again?
It is.
Well, Rush was talking today about it, and he was saying both Rush and Hannity, and they were talking about if the Freedom Party there, the Freedom, what's the name?
Yeah.
Not Freedom Works, but Freedom.
Right, the Freedom Coalition. There's like 32 of them or something.
It's rumored that they're all getting together to back one person, whether or not that's McCarthy. Right. I don't know, or an unnamed person at this point.
Hey, here's a question I wanted to ask you guys.
If they don't go with McCarthy, then he can't win because he doesn't have the votes. So we'll see tomorrow if they're just gonna cave.
My money is on McCarthy winning. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he will, of course. Well, listen, because look at his record since 2012. I mean, he's obviously bought the right people, or he's been purchased by the right people, and so those people will help get him where he wants to be. He's paid for that. He's paid for that with his soul.
Crystal's got to go.
Yeah. Anybody got anything before we go?
I was going to ask one last question.
Wind it up anyways.
2 seconds. One last question. If you had a vote in America today to keep Obama as president or elect Putin, what do you think would happen in this country? Hypothetically, if Putin were to defect and say, I'm going to come run for president.
Putin.
Think about it, folks. Who would you vote for?
This is our choice right there. That's our choice. Turn out the lights.
One lies through his teeth, tells you what you want to hear, and then lies through your teeth. The other one tells you the truth.
Yeah.
The scary
and it
truth.
might not be what you want to hear.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll take honesty over deception any day.
Okay, we had just under a 1 hour show. We're learning the ropes, getting our ropes down.
We're learning. We're growing.
We're growing. We're
good. We're moving.
Learning how to.
Do you guys ever notice Jim goes like this all the time?
We have a retard.
We have
Crystal and I. We have a retarded friend.
Todd. And my dad, he does that, naturally. He wants to be like Todd. He's like, oh, hey.
I don't want to be like him.
1976. It was the first concert of the Eagles, and I was there with my dad, seat 67B. It was 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and I was coming out, and I had a vanilla smoothie. He knows that kind of stuff.
What do they call that? It's not autistic, but it's
Asperger's.
Asperger's.
That's
I
the
don't
PC
think so.
term.
Is that what he has? I don't
know what he has.
I
don't know. Whatever he has, it's awesome.
I know. I've got a great desire to say goodnight. Thanks, everybody, for coming on to the Blast this evening.
All right, everybody. Bye now.